What's happening? Brian Tong here, and welcome to the Apple Buy for all the good and bad inside the world of Apple, plus our JBL Pulse giveaway winners, and you don't want to miss that. So let's get to the show, and Apple's biggest rival, Samsung, just revealed the Galaxy S5, but let's be honest, it kind of feels like a Galaxy S4S. Now the screen gets a slight bump in size at 5.1 inches. It brings a fingerprint scanner this time around, and a heart rate scanner placed on the backside under its improved camera. Its body retains an almost identical plastic design, but this time the back looks more like a Band-Aid than it does a phone. Samsung fans overall had lukewarm reactions after expecting the next big thing, but Samsung really left an opening for other Android phones and the iPhone to get back that psychological edge in consumer minds that Samsung's really had for the past year. Now, their Gear 2 watch was nothing to write home about, and their Gear Fit, their coolest piece of hardware, really should have been the new Gear smartwatch instead of a fitness band and a user interface that can only be used horizontally, which is pretty uncomfortable for anyone with a neck. Now, I'm still not even sold on the idea of a smartwatch yet, but without even seeing what Cupertino was cooking, you almost have to give the Big A an edge out of the gates. Now, even if they just do what this concept video from Todd Hamilton does, they'll already be ahead. Also, this week, the big bad Apple news was a security vulnerability known as Gotofail, which allowed an attacker on the same network to capture or modify data transferred from Safari, Mail, iCloud, and other Apple apps that were supposed to be securely encrypted. Pretty much everything you do on an Apple device. Now, Apple released patches for iOS 6 and iOS 7 first, but then still left desktop and laptop users vulnerable until the most recent 10.9.2 update. Now everything has been patched, up to our knowledge, but this affects iPhones, iPads, and Macs, so if you haven't already, you need to run these updates on all your devices. Also, in some iOS 7 news, Apple is pushing for wider iBeacon adoption. It's their location sensing technology that delivers information when a user is within 100 feet of an iBeacon. Now, it can provide anything from indoor navigation of a store to product information or relevant promotions or discounts. Apple recently released specification requirements under the Made for iPhone program for third-party companies looking to incorporate the technology. Apple has rolled out its tech at its US retail stores, and Macy's flagship store in New York is running a pilot test as well. Now, Major League Baseball has installed iBeacons in Dodger Stadium, and Petco Park to deliver ballpark information and points of interest, and plans to roll it out in over 20 ballparks before the 2014 opener in March. Now, a lot of you have been asking me about when we'll see a legit standalone controller for iOS devices. It's coming soon with the recent Mad Catz announcement for their iOS 7 controller called Control I that will release in April for around $80, bringing what they call a premium experience to iOS. Now, it's a Bluetooth controller, so you can either mount an iPhone or iPod Touch to it or use it separately with an iPad. It uses 2 AAA batteries and will provide about 50 hours of gameplay. All right, guys, so the quick bites. The Hollywood Reporter says the Social Network director, David Fincher, is in talks with Sony to direct the Aaron Sorkin scripted Steve Jobs biopic. Now, Sorkin completed the script last month, and it's supposed to take place across 3 30-minute scenes at 3 different Steve Jobs keynotes based on the Walter Isaacson biography. Now, you know Fincher and Sorkin would be the perfect team to make this happen. I mean, did you see The Social Network? They made a movie about Facebook. It won 3 Academy Awards. It was nominated for Best Picture and Best Director in 2010 as well. Now, think about it. It was about Facebook. So, make it happen, Sony. Now, Apple recently released an update for iTunes with bug fixes and compatibility improvements, so get on that. But even cooler, if you use iTunes Radio, upcoming albums from Pharrell, Rick Ross, and Lea Michele are also available to listen to in their entirety before they're even released. So you guys can just check it out on iTunes Radio in the featured stations. And the WWE announced their WWE Network that's available as a channel on the Apple TV and is also available in their own iOS app. It will give you full access to pay-per-view events like WrestleMania, replays of classic matches, and other original programming. It's $59.99 for 6 months, which is basically the price of one pay-per-view event, and you know how WWE fans feel about this. All right, it's time to announce our winners for the JBL Pulse Bluetooth speaker giveaway. I told you it wouldn't be easy, and we had over 1,500 submissions. So we asked you guys, how many times did I sing me in the warm-ups, and then add that to the number of pipes I personally flew through in Flappy Bird. And for all you that were wondering, the correct answer is 29. 27, count them, 27 me-me-me's, and I flew through 2 pipes, so though some of you said it was actually 4 because the pipes were separate, which is a good point, but I'm going with 29. So congrats go to our Twitter winners, Lenita and Stanley Wong, but I'm sorry, Brian Cadena, who actually did the correct math, but wrote the wrong number. And on email, Kevin Ruddy, who asked me not to give him the one I had in my pants. So don't worry, you're all getting brand new ones. Congrats again, and we'll be in touch. All right, that's going to do it for this week's show. Email us at theapplebyte@cnet.com or just tweet me at Brian Tong, and I'll answer when I can. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week for another Bite of the Apple.